Hey guys, one thing that happens when you start doing CrossFit is you realize that there is a lot of volume that gets done. So I'm going to give you some inputs on volume and what you should do to watch out, especially if you're a beginner, but anybody else. So if you're doing anything in the same movement without stopping and it's 50 or more, then you need to be watching out for this volume and that you're not burning yourself out. Or if you're doing something that, let's say you're doing in sets and it's going to be really, even if it's still 30 or more, you need to be watching out. So when I say watch out, no, it's not really a problem. But if you're brand new, so you just started, I don't know, maybe you're a month or 2 months in, and let's say you're doing a bench press kind of strength or prep beforehand, and then the workout, there's push-ups and then dumbbell push jerks. Well, that's a lot of pushing movement, the same movement for your arm. And the next day you may feel like, what the heck happened? And so to mitigate that, just do less or take 30 seconds of rest in between each minute or something, or add in a movement like sit-ups. You can always add something to help get off your arms, or you can ask the coach, hey, instead of doing so much volume, could I do something different? And the answer is always yes. So you may find yourself overdoing it here or there, which your arm's going to be like in this case, hey, I can't get my hands up to wash my own hair. That shouldn't happen to you. If you find yourself there, you just went a little too hard, it'll be okay. Don't do nothing. Do something the next day. Go back in there and do some rowing or something to help your arms get moving. If you do nothing, you're just going to feel that soreness for even longer and it'll probably get more acute. So you want to get into the gym and do something. So basically if you pause and do nothing, it's going to hurt more. If you've got something like Murph is going to come up for us. It always does. We're going to do a pre-Murph and then we'll do Murph on Memorial Day. And that is a mile run, which that doesn't count. So you can definitely do a mile run, just walk if you need to. But I suppose it's 1 foot in front of the other and it's a bunch of steps, but that doesn't count. And then it is, let's see, you got 100 pull-ups and then 200 push-ups and then 300 squats. So that is a lot on your arms, especially if you do all 100 pull-ups just together and then 200 push-ups, you're going to feel quite strange the next day. If you break it up Cindy fashion where you do 5, 10, 15, it actually, one, you'll go a little bit faster, but two, it doesn't hurt quite as much. So you need to watch out for that. If you're brand new, I would only do half Murph. I wouldn't really even do the full thing. But in cases like that, if the next day you're going to feel it, go and do something. Don't do nothing. The next thing that I heard for that new member kind of, I just started, what do I do? So my buddy Cam, like I said, had started CrossFit up in Athens. And he said, hey, so I feel a little bit lightheaded at the end of the workout. I'm wondering if I should be eating something beforehand. And so, any really good answer starts with, well, it depends. If your goal is to lose weight, then I don't know. I mean, we need to talk about what you're eating. If your goal is to perform better in the workout, then yeah, we probably should eat something. It depends what it is, right? And then if your goal is, look, I just feel a little bit weird. Well, I'm like, how about if you go a little bit slower? Would that be okay? Or are you finding you're going too slow? You're not really getting the intent of the workout. So what's happening if you're feeling lightheaded? So really, you need to map it out first. But I would usually say yes. Eat something and figure out, it's trial and error. So it's hard to give a rule of thumb for everybody. I guess if I had to give one, I would say, let's say you wake up at 6 and you normally go work out at 7 and you don't eat anything before you work out. And by the end of it, you feel a little lightheaded. Then yes, I would eat something. I'd probably start with a spoonful of peanut butter and see what happens. If you're just like, I don't eat breakfast, I don't like to eat breakfast. Okay, great. Breakfast, I have found that now that I'm nearing 50, breakfast does not have to be the most important meal of the day. It is just a meal. So there's really, well, I should do another nutrition talk, but there's the best way to get away from or to lose weight is to have a calorie deficit somewhere. And so having a larger fasting time is way better. Way better. It is better than most things just to increase your fast time because now your caloric intake drops just because you aren't eating at certain times. Now, if you do like a larger fast and then you go to the buffet and do that twice, then you're obviously ruining that caloric deficit, so it's not worth it. But I would say eat some sort of fat, some sort of protein. The reason is it's going to sustain you, satiate you a little bit longer, plus fats and proteins burn differently. If you do carbs and you're trying to lose weight, that's probably not what you want to do. If your idea is I want to improve the way my ability in the workout, so I'm going for more, then yeah, you're probably going to want some sort of caffeine and some sort of carbs, some sugars or whatever. But Most of us aren't looking to really like, oh, I want to kill Fran today. I want to make that workout, just crush it. I want to do a 2-minute Fran. Yeah, you should totally do a lot of things to make that happen. But if you're like us mere mortals, you're like, yeah, I'd like to do like a 5 to 8 minute Fran. I think that's pretty good. Then you're not going to the games. That's great. You're a normal human. And yes, you should totally eat something if you're feeling a little bit off. So if any of you fall into that category, totally ask me. Cam's asking a lot of questions because we are high school friends first. And I am not a CrossFit owner to him, so he feels like he can ask me anything, and you guys should feel that way too. So definitely eat something before you work out. Now, it would be eat something after you work out. Your body craves material to put into the building blocks, so I would eat afterwards. So a lot of you guys know that I like to work out. I don't do it as much anymore, but I like to work out with one of those Justin's peanut butter packs in my pocket, so it's warm, and when I get into working out, I eat that pretty much right away. It's some fats, it's some proteins. There we go. Okay, so volume, be careful with it. And nutrition or eating, if I'm feeling faint, yeah, totally do it. And just track the results. See what you're doing. See if it's moving you towards what you want, then that is awesome. Okay, so on that actual nutrition front, I do have a couple of things. I don't know if you can see this one. Well, if you're listening to this as a podcast, you definitely can't see it. And it's what should you do? So CrossFit has an idea, and I'm going to pull this up. CrossFit's, I think I've said it before, they're a pyramid. Let me pause this and find the pyramid. All right, this one's good enough. So CrossFit Pyramid, I love this because they tell you specifically that CrossFit is not the base, nor is the top of their health and fitness pyramid. I love that. Anybody that says, yeah, we're not the beginning or the ultimate, we're the expression in the middle that gets you between those. That's great. It's like if you go get a fish oil from GNC is going to say, yeah, the most important thing you could ever do is buy fish oil from me. And it's not true, but most everybody says the most important thing is whatever they're selling. So CrossFit says, we're not the most important thing. We just are a great vehicle to get you there faster. So really the base of this triangle should say rest and recovery, but it's not on there. And then is nutrition. So do something with your nutrition. If you guys need or want to see better results, talk to Coach Laura, dial in your nutrition. It's really not that hard to go listen to the podcast we did. What was it called? Losing 10 pounds in one day or 1 month. Obviously the 1 day is a joke. Don't do it. And the 1 month is just habits to get you on the right track. So anyway, your base is rest and recovery. So really they say nutrition. And then the top is the pinnacle of what you're doing is sport. Go play something, show off what you got. In between is everything else that is CrossFit, metabolic conditioning, gymnastics, and weightlifting. Anyway, I love the fact that they are not the pinnacle of either side, the base or the pinnacle of what they do. So they're going to tell you in here, they do have some, you can barely see this. See if I can find a better one, but they have some nutrition ideas, and really it revolves around macronutrient ratios. So it would be 40% carbohydrate. Every meal, everything you should eat should hit this target, and they do a block system, but just kind of throw this out there. So it's 40% carbohydrates, 30% proteins, and 30% fats. So kind of what it would look like is a hamburger patty about the size of your hand, not the fingers, just the palm part, with let's see, your fats would be cheese and avocado, and then your carbs are like lettuce wrap it with tomatoes and onions and pickles. So that would probably be a very close to ideal scenario every time you eat. Anyway, they've got some other stuff that they would tell you. So I've been doing the reteaching myself all these things, relearning, going through their CrossFit online modules. And so key points here is the quality and the quantity. So quality does matter. If it has a drive-through, then it's just entertainment. And while you can entertain yourself, you're hurting yourself in terms of nutrition. Change the quality. So I love their approach. Eat meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruits, little starch, no sugar. Yep, right there. That's it. If you can follow that, you're going to do really well for yourself. The quality does matter, and the quality will help you move from sickness towards wellness. So, lean into that, right? And you want to eat enough to support the exercise, but not body fat. Now, on the flip side, if you're like my son, teenage boy wanting to gain muscle, yeah, you have to have some body fat, or you have to have excess building materials. So you are going to eat a little bit more, a lot of it for him. So the other part, I guess I didn't say this, but I wanted to say, I'll go back to the other slide there, or slide, the other webpage. So If you limit your eating to a 12-hour window, then that's going to help because it just helps you with the caloric intake. So they're going to say also 3 meals with 2 snacks. Sure, if that works. At 50, I don't really need to eat that much, and I'm not doing that many things, so I've dialed it in. I basically have my same smoothie I eat every morning for the last, 8, 9 years. And there's videos on that. If you don't know what that is and you want to see it, you can go Google that, YouTube it, or whatever. You can see it. But and then I usually stop eating, 8 o'clock at night. So my window of eating is pretty small, and I don't really eat that much, but I'm also a small guy. And my goals are I want to be happy, humble, helpful person who is healthy and fit now, as well as in my 90s. And I don't need to have a 500-pound deadlift to be healthy in my 90s. So I can eat less because I don't need more mass to lift more massive stuff. Anyway, nutrition doesn't have to be hard. I would aim more towards habits than tracking, but both of them are great. Okay, so we just had Mute Sports come today. I know I'm recording this on the 23rd, and I think this will be posted. When will I post this? On the, the 3rd, March 3rd, it'll come out. So the programming will cover the week of the 6th. So it's always off on me. I have to do this ahead of schedule, so they're primed and ready to go. And in case something comes up, but Mute Sports, great place. If you missed your opportunity to buy a jump rope, no problem. You can order it online. You can text them, call them. They are awesome. They're easy to work with. They're just north of us in the Blue Ridge area. So I would say you could drive up there, but there's no reason to. Just tell them how tall you are, and they will send you the right rope. All right, so we are also, for me, today in a few hours, the next CrossFit Open workout is going to come out. I don't know what it is yet, but for you that are listening to this, you already know what it is. So anyway, it's you're in the past, you're in the future. I don't know. Somehow it works out. You're in the DeLorean, and I am not. Right now in our gym, we've got Danny Walsh sitting at the top with 180. So she completed everything for the first workout, got to the muscle ups, and looked at them and growled. Way to go. We got a couple names right there. You can see them in order. The top couple here are Jamie Armenta, Kate Decker, Jamie Thomas. Hey, look, 2 Jamies. There you go. Meredith, Ebony, keep it up, guys. Kiara, and then we got a couple that I guess you weren't able to post your results. So I approved everybody, but I have to go back and check. Maybe you have to make sure that when you put in our names for validation that you're actually getting, well, I guess if you use CrossFit Garage, you're good, but you want to make sure that you're hitting a coach name that comes up that they suggest. So it'll be Andrew McCann or Jamie Armenta or Daniela Walsh. So you got to look for, the correct names. On the guy side, let's see if I can switch this division. In a little bit of trickery here, Louis came back and did the workout a second time. So, Canada, he's in first place, pulling out an extra 2 more muscle ups than the fat old guy, a.k.a. Andy McCann. Then next, we've got everybody who got really close to muscle ups. Paul Kelly, Nick Lubbers, Aaron Vincent, and then Tom Jenkins, just shy of getting those muscle ups. Nick Armenta, way to go. Jake Tucker, Justin Derrick, Tim Moy, Alan Lindsay, Bruce Moore, Chris Lopiccolo, Stuart Brady, Skylar Smith, and then a couple that the scores didn't get in there, Randy, Jordan, and John. Keep it up, guys. It's been fun so far. Okay, so as we get closer, let's see, you guys, while you're listening to this, are going to see some of the programming change. So if you're looking ahead, because you can do that and modify, you're going to see me edit and modify it a little bit. So what we are doing, my intent is to continue to give you what you're giving, but to build a little bit more time in there that we could actually help you progress in these skill movements. So today, if you were with Mute Sport, he told you and he said, right, you need to be practicing jumping rope 2 minutes a day. That's it. Don't do more. Just do 2 minutes a day. And I'm giving people like Jeff Binky and I are working on his muscle up progressions, right? So he knows what he needs to do. And then in the afternoon, I was working with, someone was doing bar muscle ups. Oh man, I don't remember who. It'll come to me soon. And so he's got some homework. Now, every day after the workout, he does these 3 things to help him progress towards bar muscle ups. Dang it, who was it? Hey, at 50, I'm just surprised I remember anybody's name. But we want to give you guys the skills, the progressions that you need to work on to get yourself there. So we're going to try to build not only time in to get there, but also the coaches are going to work through a very similar format so that everyone will be staged correctly. So no matter which class you go to, we kind of all know where you're at. And then we will figure out the progressions for those that can make it further. So I'll get there in a second. We'll start off real basic, get to a little bit more moderate, and then medium, and then advanced, and then super advanced, right? And so we'll all have a place we can go. And then when we say, hey, time to work on what we would call in the old days, our GOATs. I know now it stands for greatest of all time, but in the CrossFit day of 2008, the GOAT was the thing that you were working on or had a hard time with. I don't know. You get your GOAT. I don't know where it comes from. So we'll be doing some of that. So the programming, if you could see it, it looks very colorful, and there's a spreadsheet, and you're like, ooh, look at that, so brilliant. I am doing some massaging and some tweaking and moving it around. Blues are lists, so if you're looking at this, you see there are lots of lists, so we're still lifting heavy. I am not a big fan of always lifting heavy, and somebody said the other day when back squat was in the workout, hey, when are we doing strength? I'm like, you just did in the workout all this back squatting. You did 30 sets or 30 reps. That is a lot of back squat. There's your strength. It can be in the workout, right? So CrossFit is a cross-platform or cross-fitness program. So the cardio and the strength is in the Metcon. Sometimes we use a strength portion to literally, hey, let's do some strength. We're going to do some deadlift. We're going to do some bench press or whatever. Other times it's to warm up for whatever the workout's going to be. So it's a sneaky way to get a little bit extra lifting in there. I don't think you really need to do that, but I know you guys want it, so it's there. I don't know. I guess I would be proof in the pudding. You don't necessarily need to lift heavy all the time to still be getting stronger. I mean, look, look at what I'm doing. I'm not the strongest guy in there, but I'm living a healthy, happy, humble life right now, and I'm going to be pretty fit in my 90s. So anyway, 15 years has taught me a lot of stuff. But I realize we have an audience we need to deliver to. I would love to change your minds slowly. Okay, so if you're looking at this, you can see, let's see, that would be the 6th is the right week for the programming. Yeah, so just in general, you're going to look at it, and should I do it here? I'll cover all that in a second. So let me just walk through what I'm planning on. So you can see, well, if you're watching this, you can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's some lift components. So there's some strength. And you're like, wait, the overhead squat is second. Why would it be second? Well, we're doing the 2Brain business tester that everyone does. So we're going to repeat that one. So we're going to be fresh because we're going to go fast. And overhead squat is kind of hard, and you want to be super limber. So we've already done the workout, and then we can come back. So it's a work on that form. We really suffer on the overhead squat, and we need to help everyone get you there. One way to get you there is mobility. Another is to be super warm and loose. So we're going to be warm, we're going to be loose, and we're going to be doing some lifts. Anyway, so you'll see that. Anything that is red is things that I'm considering making some changes. There's a couple of those. It's not important really, but the oranges are the places where I am specifically putting in skill components. And those skill components are what I want to talk about. So, for example, on Thursday and Friday, the 9th and the 10th of March, we'll be doing some pull-up skills. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is those progressions and where are we at. We need to find places that we all know we can get to. The assumption is we've done programming and you've done this before, so let's move along with this. But we don't touch them enough to remember where we were, what we should be doing. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to utilize us as your coaches to progress in these movements. So you'll see a couple pull-ups, there's some double unders, there's more pull-ups. We got rope climb in there, and they will repeat so we can tap and touch these things more often to help you get you there. At the very end, we've got some sprints that we're going to be working on. Probably the most injurious movement I've ever seen is people doing sprints. So we'll be going light sprints, and then medium sprints, and I'm never going to have you sprint 100%. Might get up to 80. At least for this cycle. I'll change that, but I want to see where everyone's at. Again, sprinting full out, most injuries I have ever seen. So we're going to get you there, but we're going to go slow and smart. Okay. So other things that I want you guys to be looking at is when we do this, like I said, we've got some videos set up that I'll have you guys and the coaches be looking at, but so that us coaches are all using the same format, and you guys can see it too. We're going to do things like right here on this pull-up progression. So we'll start with everybody on the box. Let's see everybody do it. And then those that can move off of that, great. Get you off of it real quick. Those that need to stay there, great. Stay there and let's work on that. How is our swing? What does it look like? If we can't even do the swing, then that's what we need to be doing. We need to be hitting that swing. If we don't have a kip, then yeah, we need to be on the kip, right? So you can see we got swings and then, oh, I hit play on that. I didn't mean to hit play. So we got, just swings with a kip. We're still on the box. We can move over. So the next day would be, okay, let's go no box. Let's see what it looks like. Or maybe some of you don't need the box. But we're working on just the swing and the kip. And then we move it a bit further, right? So we want everyone to have a similar baseline, and we know where you need to be for your sticking point and what we're going to do with you so that you can do that when we say, hey, it is pull-up progression time. Everyone knows where to go, and the coaches know where you're at so that we can help you at the place you're at without having to start over every time. So this is, April, March, April, May. Yeah, April and May are months that you're going to want to come consistently so you're always hitting those days. We're going to do things like this muscle up transition. So we'll have a day of just transition. Now this is great because I know most everyone can't do muscle ups. So we'll have boxes out. We'll have the ab mats on them and you can do a transition and we're going to watch to see where we're at. We need to build up those key skills so we know, hey, this is where you're at. Are you at where your arms are already down? Are they out? Are you all the way out? So we'll have those progressions ready for you. And you can look at this. You've got a girl with her feet on a box and her arms on the rings, and she is doing the muscle up with her feet on a box. Yeah, that's a lot easier to do than no box, right? So where are you? Where can we put your progression at? So when we say, hey, today is muscle up progression day, I'm on a box, or I have no box, or I'm on my toes or my shins or whatever, and you know to go there, and we know to drop the rings to the right place, and we can work on that. Or on the rope climb. Hey, we're doing rope climbs today. This is our 4th time hitting this. Go to your station where you're at. Hey, maybe you're on the pull-up bar with the rope dangled over and you're just practicing your feet. Maybe you're on the first rope. I just bought another rope, so we'll hang that up soon. Maybe you're on the first rope and it's got a box and you're just practicing that aspect. Or you're on the rope that has nothing on it and you're climbing it. Great. If we don't touch skills, we won't build those skills. So our job is to help get you through that. And I have been very lax. I've been sprinkling it in. And we are going to put a finer point on that to give you more intentional building points on those, okay? So the workouts themselves, what are we at? Almost 22 minutes. So hopefully I'll remember to put that in there. So 22 minutes. Here are the workouts. I already mentioned the first one. It's a 2-brain tester or TBB tester. So don't cheat yourself. Do the full ROM. Really go all out on that one. That is what today is about. And then we're going to work skill. So it's going to be light, right? So it even says it right there. So it's lots of reps. Lightweight. I put a 5x5, but it really doesn't matter. The idea is to help force yourself down into the right movement. Spend tons of time here. Make sure you're rolling out before you leave. Tuesday, we have the 1 rep max for shoulder press. This is priority. Stay there as long as you want. For me, I'll be done in 10 minutes. I just don't have a very big press, but man, if you've got it, yeah, totally stay there. Don't do anything else. For everybody else, there's a workout called Netty Lou, and there is a scaled option. That scaled option is so that you can click an RX and trackable thing for you. Let me pop that one open so you can see it. We're shooting. I'm trying to put in there the shoot times. Like what should you be scaling and aiming towards? Should be about 11 minutes. These are burpees and clusters. A cluster is a clean with a thruster. 95 pounds for guys, 65 pounds for girls. It shouldn't be heavy. What would I do? So I'm going to go through this as if it's me doing these workouts. I'm totally going to do this workout exactly what it says because I can do this and I can do 2 rounds in 11 minutes with that many reps. Sure. I'm not going to do the burpees I'll do without stop, but the clusters, I'm definitely going to put the bar down. I cannot do 21 of those and expect to be a living human being afterwards. The scaled option is similar, but it's lighter weight. You can use the rig if it's available. Oh, wait. No, I think I just lied to you all. Yeah, go from the ground. That's smarter because we're doing it clean. So there. Let's see. Wednesday. So we have got a dumbbell box over jump with some snatch. So we're going to work on that snatch a bit. And afterwards. So we've got the dumbbell snatch, which I always find dumbbell snatch should be a whole lot easier. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it's a mobility thing with the shoulders. But anyway, so do dumbbell snatch when you'll be nice and warm and toasty. It's a 10-minute workout. You're shooting for about 4 rounds. There is a scaled option in there. I will do exactly what it says. Actually, will I? Oh, no, I won't. I don't like stepping up on a box with a weight. It feels funny on my knee. So I'll come up with something else for that because safety first. Do everything you can to come back the next day. And I know stepping down with a heavy weight really tweaks my knee where I tore it in a adventure race, mountain biking. So I will avoid that one. So be smart with your body. But on the snatches, so you just did overhead squat and you're like, hey, wait, now there's squat snatches. Yes, there is. Why? We just worked on the overhead squat. So now let's catch the weight appropriately in that squatted position. So the whole idea here is building back that range of motion. Yes, you can go heavy, but none of us really go heavy well with the squat, and we want to fix that. So we have got to hit these things multiple times so that the coaches can see where you're at and you can feel and get that feedback. So we'll do these not back to back, but close enough, so don't miss these days. Obviously, roll at the end. I'm trying to give a little bit extra time so that we make sure everyone's rolling, but I know still some people just run out the door, cry. Okay, next day we've got an EMON with kettlebell swings and bike with some rest. So nothing too crazy on that one. I would do exactly what it says. It's 50 seconds on the bike, so there isn't a calorie count. I would find a cadence and try to keep it there. The bike always gets very dicey no matter what you do. And then we are going to do some skills. It's going to be pull-ups. And again, like I said, we want to find where you're at. I've got chest to bar pull-ups in there. I know there's some scaling issues. A lot of people are at different places. I may take that back. I need the coaches to be able to coach all of you through, even if it's at the lowest point for most, and then the next time build up. So we have to have a base, and then we can build from there. But if we don't know where people's bases are, I just don't want to leave them in the dust, right? That doesn't make any sense. That's not great coaching. So all of you that have pull-ups, maybe turn around and help somebody that's next to you get that swing, get that kip, right, as you practice your movements too. But we will catch up to the more advanced. Just give me a little bit of time. And then on Friday, we are doing Fran. So great that we worked on pull-ups. And then we'll find your pull-up. Ooh, look at that. It max rep to 0. Let me fix that. So we will find your pull-up and do that in the workout. Fran is supposed to be a fast and furious workout. It should optimally be done 5 minutes or less. But I know from a fact that doing it super fast does crush your life in your day. So just be smart. There's also Fran alternate. Fran is 21 thrusters. It's 21:59 of thrusters and pull-ups. And the trap is people try to do 21 thrusters all together, and then it ruins the rest of the workout. So don't fall into the trap. Be smart. Break it up in a smart way. But this is like the quintessential CrossFit workout. If you had a shirt that said CrossFit and you're walking through the airport back in the day, someone would be like, "Hey, what's your Fran time?" And that was the hello to CrossFitters. So we will then also go back and work on some pull-ups. Where were you? What did you do? That's only 45 pull-ups. Let's practice what happened, either probably beforehand, but also after it's a fast workout. And let's dive into what we're doing and what skill we've got and how can we progress. So that's why we're here to coach you forward. But tackling and getting skills can be kind of tough. So those are the workouts. I'm going to pop back up to my programming board. Those that can see it, you can see what we're looking at. This is ever evolving, but this is a lot of time of me going in there and tweaking here and there. CrossFit revolves in the couplets and triplets and the 12-minute workout. That is like CrossFit right there. We're going to do, some days are light, some days are heavy, some days are super long, some days are super short, but most everything is that intensity-driven, moderate weight and moderate or medium length. All right. If you have any questions, as always, give me a shout back.